Now, let's get to another very big story. We're getting the auto sales numbers. Among them, strong tractor sales growth has continued for January for Mahindra and Mahindra. Total sales have surged 28% year-on-year. Hemant, Sikka, the president, farm equipment sector at M&M, joins us to discuss their January sales performance and how he sees the year ahead. Thank you very much, Mr. Sikka, for joining us. Well, excellent sales, 28% higher. Does this look like something that will stay, this demand?
This has let us stayed through the year. I mean, you know that we have been upgrading our guidance through every quarter. And we are looking at currently the industry is very strong. YTD, the industry has grown by 11.5%. We at Mahindra have grown by 14.2%. So we have gained some market share this year again. So overall, the sentiment in the farm side is very positive. And this is on back of some very strong factors which are affecting growth in the agri economy. First is that you would remember that this time the southwest monsoon departure was delayed by a few weeks, and that has led to very good moisture content in the soil. So far the weather is holding up well. There is pretty cold in north area, which are very strong wheat producing areas, which again augurs very well for wheat production. So we are seeing that sowing for both wheat and pulses is at all-time high. And this is all giving very strong positive momentum to the rural sentiment in the market. So we have seen a very strong December, and again we saw a very strong January to back it up. Industry growth is 24% in January, whereas we at Mahindra have grown by 30.5% in this month for the domestic market.
Okay, good to hear that. Mr. Sikka, well, actually, just wanted to highlight that the markets have opened in the red, the Sensex and the Nifty. As you can see, rupees opened stronger, bond prices have absolutely surged. Now the 10-year is at 7.25, even less than 7.24 actually. So big relief in terms of the cost of capital for India Inc. as well. So Mr. Sikka, on that, how will margins pan out? Looks like yields have peaked off for now. We don't see too much increases in terms of cost of capital. As well, raw material. How does the package look? Do you think margins will improve?
So now we are in a silent period, so I won't be able to give any guidance on the margins, but I can broadly tell you that, as you rightly said, the commodities have been on a very benign trend, and we are seeing that benefit play out in the last 5 to 6 months. So we are pretty okay on that side. More than that, it is not right for me to say at this stage.
Mr. Sikka, hi, good morning. Prashant here. Any kind of pointed takeaway for your business because of the budget yesterday? What came out in the budget?
Prashant, I feel the budget this time has been an outstanding budget, especially for the agri sector. And the notable thing is, first of all, you would have seen that the agri credit allocation has gone up to 20 lakh crore for FY24. This was 18 lakh crore for the current year. So this is more than 10% increase that we are seeing in the agri credit. And agri credit, drives all the purchasing decisions, and it really helps in growing the agri economy. The second thing that we like very much is this Agri Startup Accelerator Fund. You know that internally in Mahindra, we also have an agri startup called Krishi. We are looking at a hybrid model on this, where it is both an on-ground presence as well as a very strong digital backbone to go with it. So we work with the farmers exactly to what the Honorable Finance Minister said in her budget speech, that Agri Startup Fund is aimed at changing the farm practices of the farmers. And this is what is our motto with our own internal startup, Krishi, where we are working with farmers across the India. We have thousands of plots, which we call technique plots, where we teach farmers on how to do farming in a different, more digitally savvy way. And this has got a very strong digital backbone. We have a full IoT platform, which we are selling with our tractors and our harvesters. So I think it aligns very well with our strategy. And we believe that this will really give a fillip to the startups in the agri space. And this will really help grow and bring in new technologies and new practices in the farming sector. The third point that I want to highlight, Prashant, is government's focus on horticulture. Horticulture has been growing in the country at a very fast pace. Good to note that of the total crop production, more than 50% is now contributed by horticulture. So they are growing much faster than the cereal crops. And this horticulture focus with 2,200 crore allocation for FY24 will also help us grow the horticulture segment. Recently, under the Swaraj brand, we have launched a product typically aimed at this segment of farmers, which is called Code. And we are already seeing very good traction coming. So I think with this support, we can start doubling down on our efforts on horticulture products.
All right. Hi, Mr. Sikka. Nigel on this side. So, I had a two-part question. One is on the market share. As you mentioned, you're growing at a faster clip in comparison to the market. So what is your updated market share? Where is that headed? And also exports, they're a small part of your business, but they have been contributing a little bit more. Do you have any targets out there in terms of the export contribution?
Yeah, Nigel, thank you for asking me this, because you know that we are the market share leader for several decades now, and very happy to state with you that so far in the month of January, our market share was 42.4%. And if you see YTD January, we are the fastest growing tractor company in India. We have gained 1% market share over last year. So our market share YTD January is upwards of 41%. So we are pretty happy sitting on that space. Coming to exports, we are seeing some slowdown in exports in certain markets because of the factors that we all know. Globally, things are slowing down. However, YTD January, we are still 7% up on our exports, and we intend to close with some growth by the end of March for this year. So our efforts to grow exports continue. The countries which are facing pressure on exports, for example, we have seen South Asia slowing down, Sri Lanka has slowed down, Nepal, Bangladesh has slowed down, which are traditionally very strong market for Mahindra and Swaraj brand of tractors. But we are now developing Brazil. We have developed some new countries in Africa. Our US business continues to do very well. So with all of this, we believe that we will close the year even on exports with a positive trend.
Mr. Sikka, it's a pleasure. Thank you very much for your time. It's a pleasure speaking with you. In the pre-open session, I think